Okay, so Stella has been bathed and blow dried and all her hair has been stripped out. And now we're going to do what's commonly known as a teddy bear cut. And a teddy bear cut is basically in the grooming world is a comb cut. So they can be different size attachments and to make the hair varying lengths. Today we're going to do 3/8 of an inch. The most popular one is a half of an inch, but because it's so hot out, it'll grow out to a ½ inch in about 2 to 3 weeks. Their hair definitely grows faster in the summer months, just like weeds in the yard. So there's no mats, her hair is in perfect condition, just like she's ready to go home. I hooked up my clippers and my comb attachment to what's called clipper back. And what that does is it lifts the hair as I'm cutting it, and it's going to give it a very even teddy bear feel. A lot of times people think a teddy bear cut is just one length, but it's actually quite a few different lengths, depending on what you like. It's really not, it kind of defeats the purpose to go any longer than a ½ inch because this isn't an inexpensive procedure because there are three long steps involved and it takes 3 hours to do a teddy bear cut. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go in the direction the way the hair grows first, and when we get most of this off, then I'll go in reverse. And we pretty much take everything down even like a lamb. So even their legs, it's a very cute haircut. I've got 3 Persians and they're in it year-round. And what clipper back is doing is sucking the hair right up into the machine. So we first go in the direction of the hair so that we don't pull too much on her hair. And now I'm going in reverse. And that's what gives it that nice, even, soft, it's a very, very soft haircut. So you still kind of feel like you've got a long-haired kitty, but you don't have all the hair in the house, and they're definitely cooler. They really suffer in the summer. And she is just being fantastic. You're a good girl, Stella. You can see how pretty that looks already.
You said it's a 3-hour process. Can you tell a little about what happened before we started filming?
Yeah, so we first do what's called the pre-grooming step, and they go into the intake room. They get their nails cut, their ears cleaned, their teeth brushed and scaled, an oral hygiene spray on their teeth. Then they go into the bath, and they get 2 to 3 baths, depending on how dirty they are, or if they're stained or greasy or have dandruff. We'll use maybe different products, even salt scrubs, hot oil treatments, depending on the condition of her skin. Her coat and skin were in really good condition. There's no dander or anything, so she got 2 baths and a conditioner. Then they go sit in a dryer cage for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. We try and let the cage dryer work for us, because the cats actually like the warmth in the cage dryer. It's just on lukewarm. They would much rather you do that than using a force dryer and blowing them on the table. So we try and let the equipment do a lot of work for us as far as blow drying. But then there's still always manual drying before we start this process. This is my absolute favorite haircut though, because they're just squeezable cute. Okay, so this side's pretty good. And I've already done a sanitary clip on her, which is taking off a lot of the hair around the bum. And that will keep her clean back there. Because even if they don't get feces stuck on their tail, they definitely get urine all in the hair back there. And she's a little bit on the overweight side. Even though she's a big cat, she's definitely a little overweight. Okay, we're going to flip you over, Miss Stella. Here you go, honey. Here you go, honey. Okay, let's do this side. It's very hot today in Seattle. It's probably going to be close to 90. And most people don't have air conditioning in Seattle because it doesn't get hot that often. And a cat's body temperature is usually about 102.5. That would be a real average. So they're already 4 degrees hotter than us. Animals in general get hot very, very quickly. So this is going to alleviate a lot of the heat. It's going to allow the heat to release from our body. But, you know, you can keep a cat in this haircut year-round because they don't stay warm by the length of the hair. They stay warm by what hair is close to the body.
Do you have a lot of clients who get a haircut in the summer?
A lot of time.
A lot of clients who bring their cats in for haircuts?
Oh my gosh, this is all we do. We're doing a lot of lion cuts in the summer, but now that people know about the teddy bear cut, it's not quite as severe looking. I love doing lion cuts though. They're, you know, it's going to grow out to a teddy bear cut. Maybe it doesn't look quite as even as this when it grows out. But especially, this is such a fantastic haircut for an older kitty. And one of the reasons why is when they get older, their skin doesn't have the elasticity to support a blade, you know, directly on their skin. Their skin gets a little flabby, just like an older person, and it's easy to cut them. But with a teddy bear cut, you've got a guard protecting their skin, coming in direct contact with the blade. So it works really, really well on those guys. And they don't get matted because when a cat gets older, they have a tendency to get greasy, just more oily. And so a cat that's maybe never matted before will start to get matted as they get older, and the owners don't understand why. It's just sort of the body's natural process of detoxing. And you can see when a cat is this good, she is making my job so easy. Oh, and she's even stretching her arm out for me. That's fantastic. You're so good, Stella. So she's a dilute calico, which is kind of like a regular calico, but instead of black, you have blue. Instead of red, you have cream, and then you've got white. So I call it like the watercolor version of a calico. It's a really, really pretty color. And I think it's a recessed gene that does that. Not a